Good morning, everyone. This is Clean Slate People, and we are very excited today to have with us Mr. Dave Grogan, who has just such an exciting background and record, and you'll find out about that. Dave is running for county sheriff, and he has a platform that I think is both wise and also very, very insightful as far as what we can build in our county in the future. He comes out of law enforcement. He comes out of the U.S. Marines. He's a retired federal law enforcement agent. He's worked with the Marshal Service. He is a dad. He is a graduate of Bowie University. And he is just, I would say, someone who can speak to the issue that is on the minds of every single American today, with a level of knowledge and experience that just speaks volumes. So please join me in welcoming future Sheriff Dave Grogan.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think you hit on a couple of things when I think about my life, and we often hear about community policing. And when I think about my world, I share my world because it ties directly to community policing. When I was a young boy, at 13 years old, I didn't have an active father in my life at all, but I had excellent male role models. At 13 years old, I met a professional wrestler, a professional bodybuilder that taught me that world of lifting weights at 13 years old. And I became a wellness person by the time I was 14 years old, competing in bodybuilding, powerlifting shows all over the world. But I didn't realize until my later years how that shaped me as a young man. Because boys are natural protectors. Boys, their testosterone levels is also tied to ego oftentimes. It's driven. And so I had the opportunity to have that nurtured. And so I started working out. I started learning about wellness at a very young age. And I'm a wellness professional today. But when I went off to college, well, after I graduated from high school, a month later, I went to Paris Island to become a United States Marine. Again, protection. 1 month after I got out of high school, I went to after that, I went on to Bowie State. And while I was at Bowie State, I started my law enforcement career as a student. I was the captain of the football team, but I also had a unique opportunity to be a stay-in-school student with the United States Secret Service. And I tell you, that was just a tremendous experience, again, to continue to nurture the person that I am today. I was a mentee to the director of, famous director, the late John R. Simpson, and he took me under his wing, and he took me around, and he introduced me to everyone. He had a photographic memory. I didn't realize until he passed away. I went to his funeral, but he actually lives in the city of Bowie, where I live. His funeral was held in the city of Bowie. But he would, anytime the president at that time, Ronald Reagan, would leave, he would come get me. And we would walk over to the White House, and he would introduce me to everybody that we came across. He would introduce me as his future Secret Service agent. And that just, again, shaping a young man. But then I also worked for one semester with the Secret Service, another semester, the opposite semester, with the Department of Justice, U.S. Marshals Service. I was a cooperative education student with them. And so, again, I was a part of a family there where I learned all of the insides out of the administrative aspects. Law enforcement agencies are broken down to administrative and operational. Operational, the badge and gun people, but the people who do the real work behind the scenes, they're considered administrative people. And so I've learned all the administrative jobs to the point where people could take leave and I could fill in, and I can fill in the communication center, data analyst, all these big titles they give people in federal government jobs. As a student, I was able to fill in, I learned. Again, that helped shape who I am today. So by the time I graduated from college from Bowie State University, I had a choice. I had a choice whether I wanted to be a U.S. Marshal or whether I wanted to be a Secret Service agent. I was well prepared to be an FBI agent. I was well prepared to do just about anything I wanted to do in law enforcement. And that is what I truly believe that we can do on a local level when I'm your next sheriff. We are going to create programs for our young people, cooperative education programs, cadet programs, internship programs, and we're going to give our young people these exact same opportunities that I have, because community policing starts with teaching, breeding, training, your own from your community. It's virtually, and I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's very difficult to bring people outside of your community and expect them to be effective law enforcement officers when they can't relate, they don't have the training, they don't know the culture. It'd be like me. It'd be like me wanting to go be the chief of police in Beaumont, Texas, or Boise, Idaho. People would look at me like I was crazy because they would know that how can I be effective when I don't know the community? And so we're going to do that in Prince George's County when I'm in next year. We're going to give our young people and our young men and women the same opportunities I had. And I promise you, we'll have a 21st century law enforcement. I think everyone will be proud, and people, we will be the model for what community policing looks like.